Okay, so when you start up Unity, it's going to look like this. Now, when you do it for the first time, in 3, it comes up with the bootcamp demo. In earlier versions, it's the island demo, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so now there's a couple of major windows. I have a different layout to most people, so I'm just going to quickly change my layout. I think it's default settings. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like when it's Unity 3 at its, this is the original layout. So let's just quickly go over them. Okay, so obviously this window here, the one I'm moving around in, is the scene view. So this is everything in your scene. So I've got little sound things. Obviously there's some lights in this scene, cameras, the player models are down here somewhere. And yeah, so you can move around in this by scrolling on your mouse wheel, by holding Option and clicking. You can pan around, and by holding Alt and middle mouse button, you can pan. So that's that. You can select things in your scene. See, I can press F to focus on things. So see, I'm focusing on this bit of concrete. And you'll see down here, I've selected something. This is the hierarchy. Now the hierarchy is pretty much everything in your scene. So if I select, say, this bridge, it's going to go to the bridge. And there's a lot of stuff in this scene. I don't usually have this much stuff in my scene. Maybe that's because I've never actually made any, full-on things like this. But, when you get around to it, you'll have this much stuff. So obviously they've organized their things. So they've named them. They've put them into little, groups of what they are. So I can, find things by clicking on that and then pressing F to focus on it. See, that's a sound. Now this is the project window. This is everything you've used in your scene, like in your game. This is models, sounds, scripts, everything. Everything comes from here, and we'll talk about prefabs later on in the series, and that's where prefabs come from. Now, excuse me. We've also got, like, in the 3D scene view, we've got this little compass, 3D compass thing. So I can pick top. You got the X and Y. If you ever get confused about which one X, Y, and Z is, use that. Just quick thing, if you haven't ever heard the X, Y, and Z axes, it's pretty much like a graph, like in maths in school, but it's got an extra one because it's 3D. So you can hit the middle cube, and then it'll go to your perspective default view. Okay, there's some other settings up here. We can go textured, we can make it wireframe, have both, all these things. You probably don't have light map resolution if you don't have the pro version. And I've got some other settings you can fiddle around these. This is the inspector. You'll see whenever I click on something, we get information about it. This is a fence object, obviously, so this is prevents you from leaving the world map and walking over to there and falling off into Affinity. So depending on what I click on, different things will have scripts and stuff. So if I click on the player, you can see if I actually select the model, we've got textures, material and stuff, and we've got a script and all these things. So that's what we'll talk about more about this later. Now if I hit play, so this, we've got play, pause, and next frame and stuff. But so at the moment we're actually playing in the editor. So you'll see at the top, I've gone from scene view to game view with the little Pac-Man, which is pretty cool. So I can walk around. Now this is the exact thing I was just showing you, but I'm actually playing it. Now if I just do this and I quickly change my layout, this is why I have a different layout. I have, I think it's 2M by 3. It's pretty much that. I'll just quickly put this down here. That'll do for now. So I usually have it like this. But if I find the player in my 3D world, I focus on him, and then I go back into the game, you'll see that I have all the information about him, and I'm still playing. You can see him jumping around in the scene view. You see him shooting in the scene view. So this is really cool. This is one of the things that make the Unity engine really great. So yes, that's that. Any other things like moving objects and adding objects and stuff we'll cover later on when we actually get onto stuff. So play around with that. You can't really break anything by playing with buttons. And if you mess up the layout, just do what I did. Go layouts, revert factory settings. Enjoy.